Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm your host, Karen, joined with your other host,
Brian.
What are we going to talk about today, Brian?
Sort of our concert spreadsheet, or how we sort of track our concerts that we're going to
Yes.
throughout the year.
People laugh when I say I have a concert.
Do they
spreadsheet.
really?
Yeah. I'll be like, let me pull up my spreadsheet really quick.
All right. So do you remember where we were when we started this?
Where we were?
Yeah, like where we got the idea, sort of.
For the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
No.
It was at Ghost. The first time seeing Ghost at Allstate Arena out at Rosemont.
Oh, okay.
We were talking to this couple who was going to a few shows, and this was what, back in 2021?
2022, we saw that show.
Is that when it was?
Yeah.
2022? Okay. I couldn't remember. It was the first one. It was the pre-Imperia tour. And we had maybe 4 concerts that month. Actually, it's on the spreadsheet. Let's see what we had. I think it's on the spreadsheet. Yeah, it's Ghost. So this was February 20.
We had 2 concerts that month.
All right, so we had 2 that month. Oh, May. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. May was going to be our busy month.
May we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows that month.
Yeah.
Parkway Drive we didn't go because it got canceled, but there were 5 concerts we had tickets to in May. And we were talking to the couple about going to see all these shows. And there was a guy around us that heard us talking about that. And he's like, oh, in May I have 30 shows or 35 shows or something. He had a fuck ton of shows he was going to. And we're like, how the hell do you keep all that straight? Oh, I have a spreadsheet.
I want to say this was a conversation that you and the other guy was having with this other guy. I was talking to
The woman.
and I did not have this conversation.
But you overheard it, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Oh, for real?
No,
I thought you were there listening and
no.
talking about it.
No.
Okay, but yeah, that's
Any
where
noodles.
that's where it came from. Like, oh, we're gonna start tracking this as well. So I put together a Google Doc, then shared it with you, and then just basically it started out pretty simple: the date of the show, the time, when the doors were, who's headlining, who the openers are, the city that it's at, the venue it's at, and then ticket type, because we try to get physical tickets when we can, but you can't always get them.
Hardly any anymore.
And so we needed to remember, like, all right, do we have a physical ticket for this or digital? And then along that lines, also we have the distributor. That way we know what app to open if it's a digital ticket. And then just a comment column that we like throw in our little comments and whatnot. And yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty simple.
So I thought that we started doing a spreadsheet because we were getting more and more concerts and we couldn't remember when they were. So that you put together a spreadsheet to keep track of them.
It was, but also because that guy told us about it. Because then after this, we also do throw it on our shared calendar as well.
Yeah.
That way it pops up on our phone and we can look at it. I go back and forth between if I use the calendar or this.
Yeah.
The calendar for sure to like figure out, all right, what day, what's coming up this week. This has more information around what the actual shows are going to be. And it's kind of cool because at the end of the year, we can just scroll down to the bottom, take out the header row, and there were 31 shows in 2022.
Remember in 2022, we thought that was a lot of shows?
Right.
I remember in 2019, we went to 8 shows.
Yes.
And I know I've said this many times, but somebody at my work was like, didn't you just go to a show? And it's like, yeah, we have 8 this year. Like, we're so excited to have 8 shows. And now it's just growing.
It's growing and growing and growing. The next year, 2023, just add another tab on here on the spreadsheet. And we kind of rearranged it a little bit. Now we have the headliner first with the openers and then the tour name, because I really like the tour name, tracking that. Again, the date, the time and doors, as well as the city still and venue. But now we added ticket prices, fees, and tax on here as well.
You care about the fees and tax. Ticket price, I like to see how much we paid for it, but fees and tax, I could care less. I mean, I understand it's part of the ticket price, but whatever.
Yeah, mainly I wanted to track it for the fees, and then I figured if I'm doing the fees, I might as well throw the tax on there. I actually really love looking at the tax and seeing some here like 13 cents in tax. It's like, how the fuck did you come up with 13 cents in tax to like add on to this? Other times you get stuff that's like $4.28 in tax, and sure that's kind of correlated to the ticket price itself potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like tracking it and just seeing, especially the ticket price over time when you see bands year after year after year, because we keep our ticket stubs, and I can go back and look at the first Slipknot show I saw in like 2004. I was going to date 2004,
2005, wasn't it?
No, it was 2004.
Oh, okay.
And I saw that I paid like $35 to see Slipknot. And then did I see them here in 2023? I guess we did not see them as as their own headliner in 2023. We did see them at a festival, so that's definitely different. But like Disturbed right here, we did see them at their headlining show. We paid $149.50 to see Disturbed in 2023.
Pretty sure in 2005 we paid $29 or $24.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of cool. Like this is still kind of new, but it's kind of fun to track it year over year if you see them multiple times.
I do like the whole. From what you've put together, I like being able to see who the headliner is and who the openers were, because I forget when we saw bands or who we saw bands with or where we saw bands, that sort of thing. The venue's cool. I mean, like I normally look at the venue like, where are we going? Where is this at? That sort of thing. Those are probably the two things that I looked at.
Yeah, because I do the same thing. I forget, like, we saw this band. Who did we see them open for? Like Avatar, the first time we saw them outside of a festival, they were the opener for Trivium.
Yep.
Not on here because that was before we started doing all this, but like that kind of stuff, I do remember that. But there's other stuff on here that's like, holy shit, when did we see this band? Like Dinosaur Jr. I completely forgot that we saw them with Clutch. And then it's like, all right, where'd we see them? Oh, the Radius. And there's other times where it's, I know we've been to the Radius, or I know we've been to the Vic. Who did we see there that one time? And I can easily now go back here and take a look at it. So I do that a lot too, of like, okay, who played at this venue that we've seen? I know there was somebody. And then it just kind of carries over from there in 2024, following that same format, moving the headliners up front with the openers, the tour name. Again, I love that. The date, times, the city, the venue, the ticket price, the fees, the tax. But this time I did add in a fee percentage, which was actually just recently, the other day. And it's kind of cool because as I mentioned earlier, like you can now look and see, all right, what's the actual percentage of fees? Like for this one, for instance, who was this? Me and Allie. We paid $30 for tickets for that. $11.23 in fees, a whole 37.5% in fees.
That's why we need to go to Ireland, because we paid 54 cents in fees and 37 cents in fees.
I know. Europe is so much better on fees, right? Like think about Metallica when we saw them and the fee rate right there.
Yeah. Except
not so much. I kind of peeked ahead and cheated here. We saw Metallica in Madrid. We paid $208 and $55 in fees with a fee percentage of 26.5%. Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Here in Chicago, $315 with $81, 25. It's like 0.5% lower, but the base ticket price is also higher. So that did shock me, seeing that Metallica show, the fee rate was higher than it was here in the States.
I mean, they're both Live Nation, so.
They are, but you would expect it to be roughly the same percentage, right?
It is roughly 26%, 25%.
Sure.
That's like almost the same.
But it's not the same.
How's it not the same? Percentage is percentage.
Okay, it's still not the same. Otherwise, they'd both be 26%, right? That would be the same.
Okay.
It's basically the same, but it's not the same. And like all the Live Nation ones, you can see that like I don't know. It's going to be interesting going forward because some Live Nation venues are going to stop listing fees by themselves. They're going to list fees as part of the ticket price. So I'm not going to break that up going forward for those ones. But yeah, no, this is how we keep track of what shows we're going to, and all the information around it that we can quickly go back and look at and track and whatnot. I don't know. I'm a nerd like this, where I like organizing things and categorizing things. So
yeah, and I don't use it as a tracker. I use it as what's coming up, or what are we seeing? When are we seeing this band? When did we see that band? That sort of thing. So more of like
tracking what you're doing and what you've done.
But I meant like I don't track I don't care about like the
fees and shit
and all that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so you put this all together, and now people get to laugh at us that we have a spreadsheet for our concerts, which we already have started for 2025.
They get to laugh at you. Nobody laughs at me because I don't talk to anybody. So well, I have no problem with that.
It is nice, though, to be able to just be like, let me pull this up really quick and like see like when we talk to people about bands and stuff. So
yeah. But yeah, more live music to come for sure. And hopefully we'll catch you at the next show.
Yep. Bye.